an equitable system of getting delegates to go to Supreme Convention, right? Because Supreme delegates are subsidized, so everybody in theory wanted to, loves to, or dying to get to a Supreme Convention. And what happened was, and I'm going to make some enemies with Toronto, but they used to have the mass, the vote, so when they would go to convention, they would win and they would always get their candidates and fill the roster. So the regions, the outlying regions that didn't have the mass, you know, in terms of delegates at the convention, always lost out. So we did the housing associations, primary role. The second thing is that we realized that a lot of councils need training. And we said, how do we get the training? And the problem was, when we went to Supreme, we said, look, we need some help with training. They said, look, we can't afford to send somebody to Trembling Council, 5 guys. It ain't happening. How do you get a group? And Wayne Fink has emphasized that when he's been going around saying, if you can get 40, I would be like ecstatic, but we'll take 20 or 30, and we'll make a case to Supreme and say, hey, we've got more than one council, we've got a group. How do we get that group? Well, we get that group through the Austin Association. So you do a little bit of training, and then you have an election for a delegate for Supreme. That's the second reason. The third reason is, and I've been doing this, we've been going around trying to anticipate councils that are celebrating anniversaries, 100th anniversary. Like, Council 45 will be celebrating 125 years in 2025. And they're out there saying, you know, we're trying to drum up interest, how do we get anybody to help us, and how do we make it into a big thing? Well, the Dawson Association has all these councils and districts that are there. Surely to God, we can have some sort of communication and cooperative network built in within the Dawson Association to get the troops together and say, hey, let's go and support Council 45 or Council 755, which is their 120th anniversary, I believe, Claude, where's Claude? 120th anniversary. So you use the Dawson Association to publicize that. The other one, that I'm up to 4, is the Archbishop fundraising dinner. It's something that most areas have on their books. And what we do in Ottawa is we get together through the Dawson Association, and that's how we sponsor the fundraiser for the Archbishop and raise a lot of money. So those are the 4 ones that come readily to mind as to why we should do it. Now, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when our immediate past state deputy, Marcel, was the state secretary, went out and said, you know what, there's these Dawson associations that aren't contributing, aren't doing anything. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel the whole Dawson Association thing, and we're going to send the entire state board to convention instead. And you guys ain't going. Guess what happened? Pitchforks and sickles, and it was burn the state board. Don't even dare touch the Dawson associations. And then we said, okay, we poked the bear. We're not going to do that. And yet at the same time, we're having a problem saying, okay, well, don't fix it. Oh, sorry, don't get rid of it, but you don't want to seem to want to keep it. So we got to do something. So we're going to try to fix it. And that's what I've asked David to do. Is like, it's a big ask, and I fully appreciate it. And I'm going up north for 2.5 weeks there. We're going to do the circle and